Hey everyone, welcome to the Rise and Above podcast, a platform for you to share your story. Oftentimes, we all have something that happens to us in life and we have no way of sharing. Many people want an outlet, whether it's writing a book or going on a massive networking platform or starting an inspirational social media account. With the Rise and Above platform, anyone with an inspiring, motivating, or interesting story can come on and share. It could be anything from the struggles of starting a business, the struggles of overcoming homelessness or mental illness. I've interviewed victims of rape, sexual assault, and abuse. There is no subject that is off limits. This platform offers a safe and fun way for you to share your story through a one-on-one experience. If you would like to share your story, the best way to reach out would be through social media. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook or through email. All the links will be provided in the show notes. Thank you for listening. All right, welcome to the Rise and Above podcast. Today I have Lorin Cumberbatch with me. She is a three-time business owner. She owns two businesses here locally, Skin Studio 211 and a party rental business also. So I guess with that being said, again, Lorin, would you mind telling me a little bit about yourself? Are you from the Lansing area? I know you have a business as well in New York City, so kind of tell us how that came about.
Okay. Yes. It's okay. No, I'm from New York, born and raised. Then I moved here when I was 12. And then when I was turned like 18, 19, I don't really remember, I moved back to New York just because I miss being home. And then I got my esthetician license. My classmate wanted to open up a spa. We got a really great deal, New York pricing at least, on his spa.
I'm sorry, real quick.
Okay.
What is the pricing like in New York City for like a business?
Okay, so I can tell you at least business is extreme. So, but for homes, you'll get a room literally like the size of this for $1,200.
Wow, like an apartment.
Yeah, it's not an apartment, it's a room, one
like
room.
A studio room.
Nope, like you have a room and like other people live with you, like college dorm room.
Wow.
So they take like an apartment and sometimes, it's like $4,000, so you split it between three grown adults. Or they'll take a house that's like 4-bedroom house and split it. Like literally split it where you have different entrances of that one house. So 3 families can live there.
That's insane.
Yeah, so like, and then it's like they require 3 times the rent down. So it's first month, last month, and security, which is whatever the price of the rent is. So yeah, you're pretty much paying for a house.
Yeah.
Like, out there.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. So like when she said we got a great deal, like they just required us just to have first and I think last, and it was month to month, which is very rare because they know her. I was like, let's do it because we're not going to get another opportunity.
Yeah.
And I just did it, and it's doing pretty decent. And then I came here because my son needed heart surgery, so he got that. And then I needed back surgery. And then we kind of got stuck. So my surgery got canceled the week before. And sorry, I'm just like losing train of thought.
You're good.
But,
I just want to tell everybody that we actually recorded this like 10 minutes prior, and apparently my computer wasn't recording, so we have to redo this. And so we're kind of going over it again, so it's obviously not as detailed.
Yeah,
so it sucks having to do it again.
It's okay.
But
so we got stuck out here, and I didn't really get sick because I could have went back, but it was like, am I going to get the surgery in New York or am I getting Michigan? And at this time, New York was like extreme as far as cases. I was like, we're not open anytime soon. Right. My insurance is like, you can go to either state. So I was just sitting in Michigan like, whoever opens first, I'm going to get the surgery. And of course, Michigan opened first. And then I was just like, oh, well, I should just move here because if I get surgery out here, I'm going to be stuck for like, I don't know how long. And then I got a lumbar fusion. So that's waiting until your back heal. If it heals wrong, then you might have to get another surgery. So I was just sitting here waiting. So like I said,
how long ago did you have the surgery?
I want to say almost 8-9 months ago.
So how are you feeling now?
Oh, I'm so much better.
Yeah.
Like I don't take no pain meds or nothing. I can do things. Like before, when I tell you I was in so much pain, like I would take like almost 3 milligrams of any type of pain meds. I didn't care. I was just like, my kidneys is gonna shut down, but I just can't even live at this point. I couldn't walk. Me and my friend went on a cruise, and like, it's a lot of walking. Like probably every 5 minutes, I kept saying like, I gotta sit down. And I'm 26. Like it was terrible, and I felt bad. Like I kept having to stop, and we were on her vacation. It was like, I'm gonna collapse if I don't if I don't sit down. That's how I knew something was wrong. I was in so much pain at one point. Like I was like curled on the ball, and I was like, I'm about to go to the emergency room, and then that's when I like found out I needed like back surgery. So, yeah. So then I just applied to jobs, hoping to get jobs out here. No one will hire me, which is so weird
Really?
because I was willing to work in the pandemic, and nope, no one will hire me.
What?
Yes, I had so many interviews. I worked at the bank, so I wanted to rework back at the bank. I applied to probably every bank here, and then they was just not hiring me. So I was so upset.
Why wouldn't they hire you?
I don't know. And it was okay, weird because I had 3 years of experience,
Right.
and I had been a teller before. Then I got promoted to a banker, so like I had some experience. I was like, no one hired me.
Wow.
And I was just like, okay. So I was just like, well, I got to figure something I need to make money once I, figured this out. So I just opened up Skin Studio 211 during the pandemic. I was like creating my website, getting my booking system.
And it's the same
everything.
thing you guys are doing in New York City, right?
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
So I was like literally creating my business in the pandemic, and then a week before she opened, as far as beauty services was, I signed my contract to get my studio. Had all my friends there helping me paint. We was like getting everything ready, and then I just opened up.
Wow.
Finally.
So because the services you offer are like one-on-one type of things. You're working individually with other people. Mm-hmm. Was there a lot of restrictions because of COVID, and was it difficult to open up because of the restrictions?
So it wasn't difficult to open because we were one-on-one. So like people who do hair, they're not usually one-on-one in a separate room.
Right.
All of our services one-on-one in a separate rooms and by appointment only. So I kind of was okay. The only thing was the mask part.
Okay.
I think at one point you couldn't do facials, which was fine for me because I did other stuff. I just wasn't facial. So it was, but not. I guess the scariest part was every time hoping that she didn't shut us down. Because like I opened in the pandemic and I'm still going to have to pay this rent. And if I can't do services, then...
And because you had just just up, you probably hadn't built like up. You haven't built up much of probably a clientele and probably not your finances as well, right?
It's so crazy. I have clientele like from the moment I opened up.
Okay.
Like I was fully booked. Like when I say I worked like 8 a.m. to like 10 p.m. Like no break, no lunch, no nothing. Like I was booked, which is so weird. But the only issue was that I didn't have like the money saved up. It was just like on a whim, like let's just open up. So we was to close down, I probably would have had to just close my business. Wow. So I got lucky.
That's such a gamble.
Yeah, I know. People ask me like, how did you do it? How did you? I'm like, I didn't have a plan. Like year 2020, I planned to go back to my job after back surgery, and I didn't have a plan. It was
what was your job?
I worked at Chase. I was a bank.
Oh, okay.
Banker.
So you left that during your surgery during COVID.
Yep.
Wow. Now, were you scared of getting surgery during COVID, like because of all the sickness going around, and were you afraid of getting COVID and possibly it taking a bad turn?
No, honestly, as much pain as I was, I didn't care.
You didn't care?
I'm like, please don't. I think I was so more scared of my son because he had open heart surgery. He was 2.
Oh my gosh.
So that's the whole thing that made me want to leave my job, because I was telling him like my son just had open heart surgery. It wasn't like, it's something, he had broke his arm, let me get surgery. It's like open heart surgery. So, and my son also has seizures when he gets fevers.
Oh.
So, and he had a fever last year too, after like a couple months after having heart surgery, because I don't know, he just got sick a little bit. Mm-hmm. And that was my main thing, was like if I bring him back, because his temperature will go from like regular to like in a couple hours like 102, and he'll go right into a seizure. So that was like my main thing, is like making sure he doesn't get sick, and I'm the main person who's around him. And if I go to work and I come back,
you could be bringing him back to him.
Yeah. So, and it was not understanding. My job did not care.
Really?
I literally maxed out everything. I was just like, I'll take the 2 weeks COVID. I'll take my PTO, vacation time, everything. And I was still telling him his doctor wrote a note, and I just pretty much maxed out everything. That's another reason why I was like, I got to figure something out.
They wouldn't give you FMLA or anything like that?
I was using that for my back surgery and his heart surgery, so I was maxing that out too.
Oh my gosh.
They didn't really care. So I was just like, I'm not trying not to come back to work. That was my plan, but you guys not understanding, so I don't know.
So you obviously probably left there on bad terms.
I guess, because I never came back, but it wasn't like purposely.
Right. You had to take care of your family.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. If I can explain it to like whoever's in charge.
Was bankers considered an essential worker at the time?
Yeah.
Well, they probably always were.
Yeah. They literally always worked. Like my coworkers used to text me like, they hate it and all these things, and are you coming back? And I was just like, I mean, I plan to, but I'm not trying to bring this up. And they just didn't care. And I was just like, you guys know my situation. I put this in before the pandemic even was thought about. And they just was like, no.
Now, you were in New York City at the start of COVID, right?
Pretty much. I remember when my son actually had heart surgery. That was the first case.
Wow.
In that hospital. But the hospital is so
scary.
huge. Yeah, at the time it wasn't like, oh, okay, like it is what it is. But no, we tried to go visit the doctors after he had heart surgery, so how well he was doing. They was like, we're not letting anyone into the NICU. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, so.
That's crazy. I remember like the first month or two of COVID happening, it was like, well, what is happening here? And then New York City was like the worst.
Yeah.
Like, as far as cases and everything. And I remember being at work and we're like, are we going to shut down? Like right. Everybody else is like at home taking a break.
Exactly.
And we're still working. I work at General Motors, and we were, I guess, considered essential.
You guys
which
kind of not really.
I don't understand how we're essential because we build cars.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, the only people who are getting another car is people who already have a car. They just, their lease is up.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, I don't know. I felt that was so weird because I have some friends who worked at GM, and they were not shutting down ever. And I was like, I'm so sorry.
Well, what was kind of crazy about the whole thing, too, and I can't talk bad about the company because it's against company policy.
Right.
I could get fired, but I got to be careful with what I say. But the thing is, I don't understand is like we were working during the pandemic, but now it's like COVID. Like to them, COVID's a huge deal. But why were we working?
Right. It's almost like Amazon.
Yeah.
Like it's a huge
in fact,
deal.
we were working almost more, or actually we were working a lot of overtime during that time.
Yeah.
And same with like Amazon and people that work in the like UPS and FedEx and all those other companies.
And to me, like GM is not like you said, to me it's not essential. Like it's not. Sorry. It's not. I mean, everyone who has a car, has a car, and whatever at the lot, they should just sell those. And yeah, to me, I don't know. They think it's weird.
What it made me realize is how much power these big corporations have. You know, like banks like General Motors, all these other like Ford, Chrysler, all these auto industries. Like the industries that run certain states that like because like the audio industry is huge in Michigan.
Oh, I know.
So they made sure that they didn't shut those people down.
Yeah, and it's really weird to me. It just showed like they really don't care. I mean, even as a small business owner, I get it because now I'm on the other side because I have employees. So like I get what they're doing, but like I don't like a small business. I don't have millions of dollars. Like they have millions of dollars.
Right.
Chase, I think 1 year made billions of dollars just in overdraft fees. Just in overdraft fees. And I didn't see anything of it. I didn't get a bonus or anything. Right. So to me,
you guys didn't get like a profit sharing or anything.
I think 1 year he did put Jamie Dimon did put like $1,700 in our 401k, but there's some people who need that for $1,700 in cash or something. Or I just find that really weird. So like they can afford like for my situation like not let me come to work.
Right.
It's not like I wasn't like not working or whatever the case may be. And like same thing GM, like you guys don't really need to make cars right now.
Right.
But I don't know. But then as a small business like me, yes, I do need these people because I don't have millions of dollars backed up behind me.
How does that make you feel as a business owner of multiple businesses that you weren't, I mean, I guess you were able to be open, but like if you weren't able to be open, if you had to be closed during that time and other like big corporations were able to be open, like let's say Great Clips or places that do hair, because it's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, it is.
You're doing work on people like hair or makeup or skin things, waxing and whatnot. But how would that make you feel as a business owner? Would you feel that like you're kind of being stifled a little bit, like they're kind of trying to take from you?
No, I honestly do think that, like, because even like when they gave out the PPP loan, the other loan, it wasn't even small business that actually got it. It was corporations.
Right.
I remember seeing on the news when the Cheesecake Factory CEO actually gave back millions of dollars, gave it back to the government because they got approved for it, which doesn't make no sense. Like, you're not technically a small business.
Right.
They are because it's a big business with smaller franchises. So like the smaller franchises.
What?
Yeah, so that's how it works. So that's how like Cheesecake was able to do it because like even McDonald's is a $1 billion company. But
billion dollar company.
Yeah, exactly.
They're probably one of the biggest companies.
No, exactly, and they're never probably gonna go away. But like I used to work for McDonald's. The owner of the McDonald's I worked for, he owned that small franchise. So he owned the one on Saginaw, the one on by the airport and the one on Kreitz.
Jeez.
So that's was his, but he actually had like a higher up.
Right.
So he could have applied and gotten the loan because these are his small businesses.
I see. So he's getting it. The local business is getting it, because that guy's considered a local business owner.
Small business, yes.
Okay, so he's getting it, not the corporation necessarily, but he's still going to the corporation as a whole.
Exactly, and it's really weird because it's
crazy.
like you can just ask the higher up. Like Jamie Dimon gets paid $22 million a year just in salary. So I was like, why can't he just take a pay cut,
right,
and close these stores, and then that's just my opinion. So I felt really weird. And and then it was like I opened in the middle of pandemic, so I would not have gotten any loan because I did not open prior. You had to be before February 2020, so I wouldn't have gotten
Why
anything.
is that?
I have no clue. I have no clue.
See, I think it's really cool that people during the pandemic, because you're not the only person I talked to that opened up a business during the pandemic, but I think it's cool that people who they I can't get a job, or they realize that they didn't like their job and they were laid off, and they had nothing better to do but try to better their life, and they didn't want to go back to their normal job. So I think it's really cool that people took that step.
Yeah, the pandemic just had you have a lot of time to think.
Absolutely.
So that was like the best time, because I didn't even do my business I didn't even think about my business when I was in the pandemic. I was just like, okay, so I'm getting paid a little bit of lead pay, but it wasn't like my full pay. So I know how to do websites and like apply for LLCs and all that stuff. So that's what I was doing. I was helping other smaller businesses that wanted to actually have a real business. Okay. And I was doing that for them. So I was just doing that. And I was actually making more money than that, doing that than at my job. So I was just like, well, maybe I should just leave. That was like the first thought, like maybe I should just leave. So then I was like, oh, okay, well, let me try that. I can do that and I can open this spa at the same time. But then I opened up the spa and I was like fully booked, so I didn't have time to do anything else.
So what was your process like? Did you have to write out a business plan? Do you know how to do that, or did you just were you just like, I'm just gonna find a space and then I'm just gonna open up?
So I don't have a business plan, but I'm working on it because Skin Studio 211 has become way bigger than I ever imagined. I went from me a year ago, one person, to now have a team of 5.
Wow.
Yeah, so like it's growing at such a rate that I am like now like trying to even catch up from not doing stuff before. Like I was not doing like counting my money correctly. Like when people are like, how much you spend on advertising? I don't know, just spending money. Now it matters because people are asking me these questions and important people, and I'm just like, okay, I got to get it together.
So do you have like a business partner, or
no, it's just me still.
Just you? You're just figuring it all out on your own?
Just figuring it all out. So now I'm like currently now looking for like a business lawyer to write correct contracts. Before it was just me just like writing my own contract. I mean, that's still valid, but I want it more professional. And
right.
I have an accountant now, and it's like me catching up on all those things. Wow. And I didn't have a plan. I literally just knew how to apply for LLC. I know how to build a website. I think I spent most of my time looking for the correct booking system I wanted. I knew how to get a business phone. I knew how to do general stuff.
Right.
I literally know how to build a business. But now that it's past me, I need to make sure I'm doing it correctly. So like if a pandemic ever happens, I have the right paperwork and everything's correct, or all these grants and loans and stuff that are coming about, I'm able to apply for them. So
I want to open up a business, and the process of it, because I'm more of a skeptical person. I'm like, do I have the capability and the knowledge to kind of get it off the ground? Like I know what I want to do, but how do I get to that point? And it's super intimidating, like looking at how to like build a business plan, because that's like the first step you have to do, right? Essentially, I mean,
it depends on where you want to take your business. So like, I don't really need a business plan for anything else besides certain grants. And I was trying to buy my building, and which is so weird. I'm trying to buy my building, and I needed a business plan for the banks. But other than that, I didn't need a business plan to do anything else, like as far as getting product or anything. They didn't ask me for a business. They just like, are you licensed? Let me see it, and then you're good.
So you had to get financing though, right? From the bank to open up?
No, not finance from the bank. I hate starting loans with the business, because a business usually doesn't make money for the first 5 years. I'm just lucky that it's making business money. But for the most part, most people don't make money for the first 5 years. So I never suggest getting a loan at all. I do not suggest that, because you don't even know if you really like the business. It's just an idea as a concept. Then when you start putting in that work, you're like, oh, it's way more than I thought. Like,
right.
A lot of people do fail, unfortunately, but it's not for the weak.
Right.
So I don't suggest that, but I mean, it's a great part to start with the business plan. But even me, like reading some of these questions, I'm like, if I wasn't going at such a fast rate with my business, I would not know how to answer these questions.
Right.
So I just say just do it first to see if you even like it. And then if you actually like it, and it's like going crazy and you're like, oh, this is truly what I want to do, then you can go into get into a business plan, because now you have a concept of what it takes, where you want to take it, what you've been through and everything to be able to answer those business plan questions.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy that you didn't really have a plan. No. You just kind of jumped into it. You're like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. And you did it, and it's succeeding.
Yeah, way more than I can even imagine.
I love people that can figure out a way to go against the grain, because everybody will tell you, like, I mean, like I said, I'm a skeptical person. So I research like how to start a business.
Oh,
like,
and they're gonna say business plan. That's like the first thing they say. I'm literally telling them, like, that's not the first thing, because it's like you're gonna do this business plan, what takes months.
It does, yeah.
Months, and even when you get it right, you're still gonna have to go back and tweak it.
Yeah.
And then you come to find you don't even like it. Like literally, all the ideas. Think about all the ideas you thought was a business. Yeah. And you don't even like it. Like that would have been a waste of your time. Like just do it, and then you can probably go back. And then business plan is just telling you what your 5-year plan is, what you've been through, where you're at now, in hopes that someone will give you money or help you out. That's all the business plan is. But you're not even in that state right now. It's just you. Right. And most people may just be done for the whole life. So you may never need the business plan.
Right. What I think is kind of crazy about businesses is it's way easier to get a student loan, but it's really difficult to get a business loan.
Oh my God. Yeah, like, yeah. Not even a business loan, grants, C2. Like, they always deny me because of how fast my business is growing and the sales and whatnot.
Oh, wow.
But they don't see like everything else. They haven't had a conversation with me for me to explain, like, you know, you should give me this grant because of XYZ. So it is easier to get a student loan, which is really sad, because I think I don't have $3,000 in student loans, so thank God. But it is much easier to get a student loan than it is for you to actually get funding to start a business. And I think that's unfair, because most people don't even use their degree.
Oh yeah,
and they don't even pay the student loan back. So
exactly.
That was a waste of time.
I think it's probably because they can, no matter what, they can always get their money, or they will
figure out a way. Yeah,
they'll find out a way. And even if you go into bankruptcy, it doesn't go away.
Yeah, it doesn't go away. Even if I don't even know if you die, does it like go?
I don't know.
Will your family's responsible for it?
I mean, I'm not paying. I'm not paying
someone else's student loans. Like, they just put it on my credit now. Like, that's really weird, and it's unfortunate that it's that way, because they always say small businesses is the makes the world go round, but it's like you guys don't support small businesses, so it really doesn't.
Now, being a local business owner, did you see a lot of local businesses go under during COVID? Do you know of like anybody?
I've heard. I've never personally met anyone, but I've seen a lot of businesses obviously close down that's been around for 25 years and all these other things. And like Okemos Meridian Mall, they filed bankruptcy. And, Reno's West closed down. Now it's One North. So it's really unfortunate that all of these things have, gone down, but, that's what being a small business owner is
taking
you never
risk.
know. Yeah, you take the risk of it being closed down. Every day is a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the services you offered, is there anybody else in town that offer the same kind of services? Do you have competition?
I have a lot of competition. Yes, there's a lot of people, but I'm not going to gloat or anything, but I really am like almost number one. I'm not even gonna lie. Just because I work so hard and I push so hard, and like I'm always thinking of different ways to promote. And I think one thing about me, I'm a millennial. I think that beats a lot of people, because I know a lot of businesses that have refused to almost get online. And I literally tell them, like, social media is the easiest marketing.
Oh, yeah, and it's free.
Exactly. Yeah. I think I posted my video of like a promo video of when I first opened up, and that's at like 30,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah, and I that's not even like really with promotion or anything. That was just like me just putting it up there and let's see what happened. And I'm always on social media. So bad. I'm always on social media, but like that's the best advertising you can do. That's why when people ask me what's my budget, I'm like, I don't really spend that much. When I first started, I didn't spend anything. I just was on Facebook. Right. And I love Facebook. It's my favorite thing. But
why is it your favorite thing?
But no, it's so personable. You could do words, you could do video.
Oh, you mean as far as like advertising?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like just being on Facebook.
No, that too.
I was,
It's like the funnest
I'm like, I
thing.
hate Facebook. It's so addicting, but I
What?
hate it.
I love Facebook. I'm starting to love TikTok too because that's addicting.
Oh my gosh,
You'll get one video and be on there for 5 hours.
dude, for real. I was talking to a lady the other day, and she was saying her son has like 20,000, like his one of his videos has like 20,000 views, and I'm like, I can't get on TikTok because if I do, it's like an hour later. It's like,
yeah. One of my videos right now is at 3.9 million views.
wow.
Yeah, I have 10,000 followers on TikTok. And I was just by like, well, let me just throw this up here. Let me just see. And
that's
went crazy. I was like,
is that how you advertise too? Is on TikTok?
I do TikToks as well when I can think of them. Because most of the time I'm just scrolling, so I gotta stop. I try to think of TikToks, and then my main thing is Facebook. I'm mainly on Facebook. I mean, personally, always on Facebook. We're on everything pretty much. You can find us pretty much everywhere, but that's my main thing is like Facebook. And it's not just my promote my business. Like I'll do quotes and I'll just share my struggles and everything. I think one of my friends, someone who knows me, literally said like, you know, your Facebook page is really organic because it's like you don't just share just wins. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna just share just wins because I want them to know like being a business owner, like you'll cry real tears, but you still got to keep going.
People who share just wins like make me skeptical.
Yeah,
I'm like, are you really? Really
happy every day? No.
No.
I literally tell all my business owners that like when I share my like downs, they always be like, "Oh, I'm so glad you shared that because I'm going through." I was like, "You guys need to start sharing that because everyone wants to be a business owner, but they don't know what it takes. Yeah. They need to know you cry today and tomorrow, and then next week you have no choice but to be happy." Somebody
told me that it's not what it's cracked up to be. You're always sometimes you'll be the last person paid. And you know, it's a real struggle. It's a hustle every single day in and day out.
It's really not for a week. Like there's days when I'm like, you know what? Let me just see if I apply it. Just see if I can get a job. Let me just see. I've thought about it so many times, and you know, at first it wasn't so bad, but now that I have employees, that makes it even like. That's a whole nother level. Okay.
Yeah, because that kind of gives you another sense of responsibility.
Oh my!
Because you're not just responsible for yourself; you're responsible for their families and how they're going to get paid. And
then it's like, you know, some people say they want to be there, but they don't. They're not motivated. And I'm starting to see like I almost want to like contact all my managers. Like I'm so sorry for being the employee I was. I now see why you did this, and I see why you were upset because I'm going through the same thing, and it's so sad. And I have other business owners as well that's in my group, and they'll text me, and we'll text each other back for like, look, this is what happened, or we'll ask each other for advice because we all don't know like what we're doing at all either.
Right.
And I'm just like, yeah, having employees is probably like the biggest struggle for me right now because I'm like, I'm motivated. I want this so bad, but not everybody wants the same dream as you. Yeah.
Yeah. How would you get people to be on board with the same dream and same ideologies? Not really ideologies, but as far as like wanting the success that you want.
They have to believe in you. That's the only thing. Because as
how
a
would
small
you get
business,
that?
You just go through people, honestly. I have one person on my team who truly believes in me, and I know she does. She tells me all the time, and she's sticking around and everything. And I have other people who may not. I'm not sure. They don't tell me, but she for sure believes in me. She does so much for me as well. And
did you hear that?
Yeah, you can.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she really believes in me, and I know that for a fact. And I have a pretty solid team, but then again, I think about like from a year or two from now, like their life is gonna change. Right. I don't know, even people have deaths in their family. They get married, they have kids, so they may want to move on. And I tell my team all the time, I don't know what I do. I've never been a manager, never worked in a spa salon, so like I may make a lot of mistakes that you don't have to worry about it if you work somewhere else, but if you stick around, it's going to be worth it.
Right. Now, I remember when, actually, today is my 8 years at GM.
Oh,
yeah. I'm thoroughly enjoying my employment at GM.
Okay. That's
amazing. Anyways, so yeah, when I got hired in, I worked for a landscaping company called Eric Rogers. And I remember the day that they called me, they were like, hey, you want to accept a position at GM and whatnot? And I was like, yeah, it would be a full-time job. And so I was able to quit the landscaping company, but in order to do so, I had to talk to, the owner of the place. I talked to the owner's wife, and Amy, her name's Amy. And I was like, hey, I have to start at GM. Unfortunately, I can't give you my 2 weeks notice. They want me to start next Monday. And she told me, she was like, I'm excited for you. I'm happy for you, and I hope it works out for you. And like she wanted me to move on and to better
Yeah.
things, and I think that's an important thing for employers to, like, especially small business owners, to realize that um, their success is from their employees, and you should always kind of want them to better their life, and if
Of
it's
course.
even if it's not with you, and they have to move on to do so,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can always find somebody else who,
Right.
you know,
And I tell them all the time, I'm like, don't stick around just because or
right.
anything. I'm like, you have your own life too. I don't want you working here if you want to, I don't know, do something else with your life. Like, I
Hmm.
don't know, you may want to take a hiatus or whatever you want to do. Like, if you want to work from home at another job, go ahead.
Or if you want to start your own business.
Yeah, like just I don't mind. Don't stick around for me. But like one thing I want anyone who works for me, even like 10 years from now, I really want to take care of them. Like
Hmm.
I don't want to be a Jamie Dimon, make $22 million and the people below me make less than 60 grand
Right.
a year.
Right.
Like if I can, I'll give you a bonus. If like whatever I can do to help you,
Right.
I want to be one of them. What is it, undercover bosses that like goes into stores and then like hair shrug and then give you a car if you don't have one type of thing.
Right.
Like I really want to be able to do that because without them, they're not like I'm nothing.
Right,
Regardless of how
exactly.
much money I make.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
You take care of your employees and they'll take care of you.
Yeah, I truly believe in that. That's why I'm always asking them, like, do you guys need anything? Like, please talk to me. Like, I don't care if it's something I'm doing wrong. Like,
Mhm.
please tell me because I won't know unless you say something.
Right.
And that's, like, my biggest thing is, like, please talk to me. Like, don't sit here and, like, chit-chat in the background or just quit and then
Right.
don't even give them opportunities. That's one thing that people don't give small businesses is the opportunity. You mess up one time with a customer, employee,
Mhm.
that is, you're done. Like,
Right,
literally
right.
done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you upset with me when you never told me?
Right.
So that's one thing I've learned is like that.
So obviously, you having to leave Chase Bank, which sounds like it was a good job.
I love Chase. I just didn't like my employees at this branch, my coworkers at this branch. I had moved to a new branch, and I think I only been there for like 6 months, and then I needed to take a leave of absence. I did not like my coworkers. They were not the best. That was another reason why I didn't want to go back because I did not like them. Not all of them, some of them, and yeah, I love working for Chase. Like I tried to go back, but they didn't even want to hire me.
So, you had to leave obviously because you weren't able to get the time off that you needed to take care of your family.
Yeah.
Now, if something like that were to come up for your employees, how would you handle a situation like that?
Well, I'm a small business, so I would tell them like I can't afford to pay you while you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Then you should just go somewhere else or whatever. I don't have that in my funds because I'm a small business. Now, if I was bigger, I have no problem. Like I understand, especially like my situation. My son had a whole heart surgery,
Mm-hmm.
so that was a big thing for me. But I'm very understanding. I think one of my people had to. I don't know what happened. I think something happened, and she was like, "Can I just have the day off?" And I was like, "Sure." Like, I mean, I'll do what I can if I can.
Right.
I'm not gonna hold it against you, but if you talk to me, I have no problem.
That's a hard balance because, like you said, you want to be able to make sure that your employees talk to you and they're open and that you're able to help them as much as possible. But at the same time, you have a business to run, and you got to make money in order to pay for them to live and for their families to live.
I'm not the like. I don't mind them telling me things, but it's how many times you tell me about your sad story.
Right.
So I understand, some people, life just keeps happening to them. Like, no matter what they do, life just keeps happening. And I get that, but for me, I don't feel like that's an excuse because, like I said, my son had heart surgery. I still had to do what I do. I had back surgery. I went back to doing spa stuff 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks after that. I had my son. I went through esthetician school the entire time, pregnant. From the moment I found out I went back to esthetician school 5 days after giving birth.
Wow.
I do not play because I feel like everyone has a sad story. Nobody effing cares.
How did you develop that? What was your life like prior?
So I want to say it's my grandmother. So she passed away, but she's like, I've never seen her at a job, got a paycheck that I know of. But for some reason, I never went without. I never had to worry about anything. I hope I don't cry because I always do this.
I really need to get a box of tissues.
No, it's okay. I've never seen her work, but like people who knew her before I was even born, she even said like, that's not like that's just who she was. And I was like, I think I developed that, and I think that's why I know I'm her favorite. My family would say I'm her favorite. Was her favorite, so like I'm not lying. She just pushed that into me, and I've always been like that. Even so, I grew up in New York, and I grew up in like a really terrible neighborhood, but
where in New York City,
not New York City. So I lived in Queens, and this is really like they call it the sixth borough because it was in Far Rockaway. So Far Rockaway is on the very tip of New York, and it's only not an island yet because it should be almost a island because it always floods. It's just a tiny piece of it connected, and that tiny piece always floods. Like today, like it's raining, it's probably flooding out there.
Wow.
So I lived on that part, and even my sister, she used to be always in the neighborhood. I was always at the library. Libraries knew me faithfully.
Wow.
I think the max of books that you could check out was 15. I checked out every week 15 books and read it all 15.
Holy
I remember
cow.
reading 3 books in one day. I used to get in trouble for reading. I'm like, how am I getting in trouble when I'm reading a book and all my other friends are not doing that? I'm like, I'll read all books. People in my neighborhood used to think I was going to be a president. I was like, I want to be in politics, but if that's what you want to believe. So they're not even surprised that I'm like a business owner and stuff like that. I don't think it surprises anyone because even being young, like this is my goal. Like not goal to own a business, but they knew I would be something. Like it was not going to be level.
So seeing your grandma kind of made you like realize she was like a good like inspiration or role model for you to be like, okay, I need to strive to work as hard as possible to make any business that you get involved in
I don't even know. I think she just installed it in me, like, because I lived with her, so that's why I moved here, because I moved with my mom. But and then not even just her, like my mom too. She's always worked 2 jobs. Right now, she works 2 jobs, and I tell her all the time, "Why are you working 2 jobs? Because you don't need to." But she just, I don't know, she just wants to, I guess.
Wow.
I mean, and then my grandma, she worked as a nurse since she was 17. And they made her retire. So I guess it was just I want to say in my family, just those 3 people, because not everyone I know is like that. Really, I'm literally like the only one, like, as far as like my age group, my generation, like I'm the only one actually doing something. And I feel like I literally tell people all the time, like, it's me that has to change my family going forward.
Right.
It's no one else. I feel it. I know it. It's no one else that's going to change my family's dynamic of anything but me.
Right.
Like right now. So
Right.
I have every day I think about that. Like can't do whatever I want. I literally feel guilty when I do things with people. Because I'm like, I could be doing something for my business. That's so terrible. But I should have fun too because I'm only 26. But it's like, I'll have fun later.
That I kind of have the same thing like with a podcast. I'm like every time I'll stay up late watching TV and I'm like, wow, I'm such a piece of shit.
I literally, that's what I said. I'm like, you should not have done that. You really shouldn't have gone out to this party. You really shouldn't have. And then I'm like, and then I sleep and I'm like, you should have got up at 6. Wow, what are you doing? I don't know. I feel like crap. It's terrible.
So what do you do to mitigate that? Do you focus more on work? Like
I do.
Yeah.
If I went out for like 3 days, I will slave for the next 7 days. And I try to give myself grace and tell like, you gotta have fun and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, let me make up for it by working as much as possible. So now if I went out 3 days and I gave myself an excuse of why I didn't do X, Y, Z,
right.
I try to like, well, you was able to go out 3 days, so you need to do it right now. Like, stay up later. You was able to stay out to have drinks, but you're not able to stay up to do X, Y, Z. So
that's hard.
Yeah, no.
Especially when you have friends who are like, come on, let's just have 2 drinks.
My friends really do that, and some of my friends, like one of my friends, she works a 9 to 5, and one point we was getting like really into each other because like I never see you, but you always go out. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, the people I'm going out, they all own businesses, and when we go out, we're talking business over drinks. We may be drunk and still talking business. I'm like, so that's not really fun. I'm telling you, like that's what we do. But then I'll tell her like, she's right, I gotta still hang out with her. And I don't mind if my friends or anyone I know have a 9 to 5 because I don't think everyone should be an entrepreneur. I don't believe that because we still need workers.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's not in everybody. It's not for the weak. So still work if you like it. Just be in a higher position like Jamie Dimon. He still works. He still has a job. That's a 9 to 5. But he's CEO and makes more money than I do, and I'm a business owner. So I think you gotta look at it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, being a business owner is not an easy thing. I've never started a business, but I want to, like I said, and I can't imagine how difficult it's the thought of starting it is like, okay, what steps do I need to take in order to just get there?
Honestly, I
'Cause
don't think that.
Once you get there, for me, that's the hardest. Like the
You
thought.
think that's the hardest until you actually like have all this free time.
And then you're like, what do I do with it? How do I
Yes.
schedule? How do I plan?
Yeah, you're like, oh, I can do whatever I want because I can sleep in, I can blah blah, and you have no discipline. Like for me, that's like the hardest is my discipline because I'm like, wow, I was able to wake up at 5 a.m. when I lived in New York because it took up me an hour and a half to get to work.
Holy cow!
Exactly. So I didn't be there at 8. I wake up at 5. It's terrible. So I was like, wow, I was able to wake up at 5 a.m. when I had a job, but now it is so hard for me to wake up at freaking even 7.
Right. But do you find that you're working harder now than you were like doing a 9 to 5?
No, I don't feel like I work hard enough.
You don't feel like you work hard enough?
No.
But do you feel like you work harder now than you did then?
No.
Really?
I don't think so. Maybe it's in my head. Maybe other people would say different. But in my head, I feel like I should be able to wake up at 5 a.m. Like I did when I worked for Chase. I feel like I should be able to, because when I was pregnant, I worked 2 jobs. I was able to work at Chase, leave there, go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and get home at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Why am I not able to do that now? Like, that makes me upset. And
well, you have a kid.
I mean, that too. I mean, I do have a kid. But even then, I just feel like, I should, and I don't know. I feel like it was more discipline when I know I was on someone else's clock. Like, if I did not come, I would lose my job.
Right.
This is like, I'm the owner. Like, I can do whatever I want. And I
show
think
up
a lot
when
of
you
people, I know, I don't do whatever I want. I can call out if I want to.
Right.
But it's like, I don't get paid today.
Right.
That's another thing. So, I think it's more so having all this free time and saying, like, when to prioritize something, like, you know, you have a customer complaint, when should you do it? Whereas, like, I used to just throw that to my manager, like, well, she said XYZ, and she handles it, and handles it in a timely manner. Like I said, people don't give small businesses grace, so like, you don't get back to them in a certain amount of time. They're upset about that,
right?
And they don't realize, like, I'm actually having clients as well. I'm not just standing around, and I forgot. You can't forget when you're a business owner.
Now, do you think it would be, I don't know where you're at, like, financially with your business and, like, but do you think that it would be beneficial to maybe hire somebody who would be, like, a manager that could handle, like, the complaints and maybe some of the things that, like,
no, because they still want to talk to me.
They still want to talk to you.
Yeah, they don't care. They want to talk to the owner, just like when you go into any store. Like, I used to work for Buffalo Wild Wings, so Buffalo Wild Wings, you know, you're trying to tell them, like, hey, like, you know, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. No, I still want to talk to the manager. Then, I'm like, the manager's going to tell you the same thing. You get the manager. They say the same exact thing.
What is it about small businesses? When you go into a small business and somebody has a complaint, they're like, I want to talk to the owner. Like, no, you can talk to the manager. Because when you go to, like, Walmart or something, you'd be like, I want to talk to the manager. You don't want to talk to the owner.
They don't look at small business the same thing as corporations. Like me, I run my businesses just like a corporation, so I get paid like a W-2.
Okay.
Even as an owner, like I have a 401k. Even as an owner, like I have everything that they do if I worked for a regular job. And I have like I guess a manager who's someone I was like, okay, you're the team lead type of person.
Right.
And I'm like, so any complaints, you handle that. But they still like, I want to talk to her. Or even my receptionist would say, oh, she's not available right now. Or I say, like, oh, you can't get in Lauren's book for 2 weeks. I want to talk to her anyway. And then ask me the same question, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, I'm booked for 2. Like, I'll let you know. Oh, okay, no problem. I was like, well, so you wasted time out of my day, and I could be doing something else. Like, it was a big urgency just for me to say the same thing. And I don't understand that. Like, I do services just like my other team, and the receptionist is free, so talk to her.
Right.
She can communicate through me, but nope, they want to talk to the owner.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has something to do with it being a small business. People want it to be more personable, but at the same time, is like people also, when they want to complain about something, they want to like kind of take it out on the owner. Like it's their fault, and it's just a work in progress with everything.
And it's so crazy because all of us small businesses that I know, we go above and beyond. Like, I'm quick to be like, here's your money back. Like, I just be like, I don't want no parts of it. Like, money back, let me do a free service, all that. That's still not good enough. They don't care. They are quick to write you a bad review. I only have 2 out of 150 on Google.
Wow.
I only have 2.
That's impressive.
But both of those situations, I literally reached out. One of them, I reached out to them, and they wrote the review first. They didn't even call us.
Oh, jeez.
I reached out as soon as I saw it because I get it immediately. And I asked her what the issue was. And, for me, I want to be able to figure out what I did wrong so I can not do it for someone else. You don't have to come back, but I don't want to do it to someone else.
You fix it.
No, she wasn't for that. Then someone else, we literally went above behind before she even wrote the review. And then she wrote the review 2 weeks later. and then 2 weeks
Wow.
later requested her money back.
Wow.
And I was just like,
no, you're good.
we went out of our way, and I literally was just like, no. And then even that made her upset because I said, no, in a small business, you can't say no.
Right.
No, forget about it.
Right.
And they would tear you apart
Oh,
because you're a
yeah.
small business. And I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
you would never do this for McDonald's. You'll
Yeah.
complain about McDonald's and still go there the next day.
Right.
Here,
Yeah.
you would tear me apart and never come back and tell everyone to come to me. Like,
Mhm.
why don't we have the same grace? That's why McDonald's, small, like, actually, I go more hard for small business than I do any large company. Like, when I go to small business, they're like, here's your change, keep it. Like,
That's
I don't want
awesome.
it. Like, that's you. Mr. Leslie Cheesecake, he literally hates, I literally hate when he skipped past the tip part.
Where's this at?
Allen Market.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's really good. By the way, check that out.
I need to check it out. I
Really good.
love cheesecake.
It is the best cheesecake in the world. The best cheesecake in the world. And I've had Junior's Cheesecake Factory. Like, I've had a lot of cheesecake.
Where's
His
Junior's
is
Cheesecake Factory?
New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know, that was in
like,
New
I'm
York.
gonna go on a cheesecake hunt.
It's really good, but I literally hate when he skipped past the tip line, because he like, oh, he like, you're good. He'll sometimes, because we are like really close, he'll give me cheesecake free. And I'm like, I'm paying for every one of these. Like, or sometimes people give me a discount or whatever. I
Right.
like, do not give me. I want to pay full price for
Right.
this,
Yeah.
because I know you're a small business. I know what you go through. I'm tipping for
Right.
all the complaints you had today.
Right.
That's what I want to tip for. I don't
That's
care.
cool. That is cool. I mean, so do you find yourself like shopping more locally than you were before you started a business?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think actually being in Lansing, because it's so much easier than in New York.
Yeah, I can
Lansing,
imagine.
I definitely do like as much as possible. Share stuff as much as I can, because I know I have a big following. Shout people out if I can.
Mm-hmm.
I go to a lot of pop-ups, and if I go to pop-ups, I honestly don't make money at pop-ups because I spend all my money on the small businesses. I buy from every vendor if I can.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some people who have like things that I know for a fact that I'm not gonna do with anything. I don't want to waste
Yeah.
their product.
Right.
But yeah, I literally shop at every vendor if I can.
Wow. Where's
Yeah.
like what kind of pop-ups do you go to? Like,
So I go
like markets? Like,
yes. So my friend Najima Iman, she owns You Shine in Events. She has one like every Friday, so it's Afterglow every Friday at Rotary Park right now until I think
Okay.
September 2nd.
Okay.
I can't remember, but she throws up a lot of it. She's like hired by a lot of people to throw pop-ups.
Mhm.
So I definitely go to hers. And then I just see some on my social media. There's some other people that do it on Southside.
Okay.
I think there's Art Fest coming up. Then there's like the 420 Cannabis Fest. I try to go
Okay.
to that one. I try to go all the ones I see on my social media.
Right.
And I would just try to buy as much as I can.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. I know. I spend more money on other businesses.
So when you go to a pop-up, what kind of services do you offer?
We sell product too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we sell product and we sell services at the same time. So we'll do a discount services and we'll sell product. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, sounds like it.
It's extremely.
How many hours do you average a day when you're working?
I think 11, 12 hours. Wow. Yeah. And that's every day. That's no lunch break, no nothing.
Every day, 7 days a week.
I work 7 days a week. Like today's my off day. I'm here.
Wow. I feel like I shouldn't be keeping
No,
you.
it's okay. This is the only day. And tomorrow
And
I
you're still
work.
working because you're promoting your business.
Yes, I work every day. And when people are like, when's your off day? I'm like, my off day, quote unquote. It's Thursday, but it's really not because I'll do a bunch of other things on that day. Yeah, I don't know why.
Wow.
It's a good thing, but not.
Yeah, I mean, it probably gives you the opportunity to get things done that you kind of lacked doing during the
yeah.
week, like at home or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Oh, don't speak at home. My mom hates my room right now. I'm like, Mom, I'm just going to have to hire someone to do my... I literally try to hire someone to do almost everything for me. I pay Ship so much money because I'm so busy. I pay Instacart. Amazon, forget about it. My Amazon cart is... Every day I get a package from Amazon because I order for my business and I order for personal life.
Oh.
I pay my receptionist a lot of money too for the store for me. It's so bad. I spend like convenience. Literally, that's what
Right.
you pay for when you're small business, convenience.
Yeah, and you're spending money, but in the same time,
Saves
like
some
you may
time.
be kind of losing some money doing that, but it saves you time and it makes you more productive because you're able to work more at your business,
Yeah.
and who knows what kind of effect it would have later on financially down the road.
Right. No, it has helped a lot because sometimes I would have to hurry up and try to run to the store because I have to get something. I got a ticket one time. Yeah, because I was speeding. He was very nice though. He was gonna let me go, but he was like, he was doing well over 20, and I was like, I know. So I ran out of wax, and this is when I first opened up. I didn't expect to be so busy as I was, so booked, and I finished the client like 15 minutes early, and I had to run to get wax. And I sped there, and I sped back, and I was late anyway because I got a ticket. So I got a ticket, and I was late, but the girl was so nice. I told her, I was like, I got a ticket. Here's my proof. Like, so it's one of those things. So it's definitely have saved me a lot because I probably got more tickets. So it's okay. I'm not upset.
That's hilarious. Well, I think what you did is awesome. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday that I met at the Okemos farmers market, and he started a woodworking business, like selling like I think he started off making cutting boards and stuff, and then now he's kind of branching off into other things like tables and whatnot.
Right.
And so I went over to his tent because I was like, this is kind of cool. And I was asking him his story, and he's like, he's like, I got laid off during COVID, and he's like, so I figured I'd just start doing this, and then it kind of became something, and now he has his own business, and he's like, I'm never going back.
And you enjoy it, and that's why I tell people. I mean, like, just try, like just start it, like, because I know a lot of people who start it and don't like it. Like I also have, I guess, another business. So my building. So when I was looking for a room for just me, everywhere I went offered the entire suite. So I just went ahead and just got the entire suite. So it was just me out of one room, and then I had like 6 other rooms to rent out. So I rented them to other businesses, and I like that I do that because it gives them the opportunity to try it out. So I have some people who literally only was there for a month. I've had one person who's been there since day one, since a whole year ago. Wow. So it kind of makes you realize like, what it takes, because I've had people who I'm still close with who used to be there and literally is just like, yeah, I thought I was ready, but I'm not, and went back to their 9 to 5. Wow. So, I mean, you got to try it. And it's better to try it now when we're in a pandemic, when there's free money, free grants, free all this stuff. You know, you're working from home, like, start your business and just try it out, because then you might be able to leave rather than wait until life goes back to regular, and it's so much more harder. Right. And I'm like, customers right now are looking, like I said, businesses have closed down, so people are looking for new places to go, and they're in a good place right now to support businesses. Like Lansing, you know, is so much support small businesses. Live local, love Lansing. Right. They're all trying to small businesses. So why not start now when they're actually doing this? I mean, it's gonna die now, of course, but do it now so you can try it out. Yeah, because life kind of slowed down a little bit, so people have more time to like go to these markets, kind of wander around town and see what's locally. And I tell people all the time, just try it. Like, I'm terrible, but I'll tell you not to try it like legally right now. Like, that's just me. I'm like, listen, people are gonna go to you regardless. So I'm like, it's up to them. But like, try it out, because you don't even know. Like, even esthetician, like, I spend $10,000 on my license. Why spend that much money? And I know a girl who spent that much money don't even like it. Right. You wasted all that money, and she paid for it like during school, so she's paying like $500 a month. Wow. To not do it. Wow. That's insane. She's a YouTuber now. See? Is she successful? I think so. I mean, she still lives in New York, so it must be. She has her own house, so. What channel? What does she do? She's a YouTuber now. I know she does lash extensions, but she was already doing that so prior she does, like, makeup before. And stuff? No, just lash stitches. I don't have any arms. Like lash stitches, like solely individual lashes on their eyelashes. Yeah. How do you do that? It takes 2 hours. It takes 2 hours. Yeah. That sounds intense. Yeah, I don't know how she does that all day, because I do it too, and I get 2 clients back to back, and like my neck is hurting, my back, but I'm like, oh no, I can't do this. I think I do other things. But she was doing that before, so she got her license, was to expand other things, and don't want to do anything else. Right. But she still does her lashes. So I was just like, at least you tried it. Yeah. I mean, but you wasted $10,000 right there. There's definitely smarter ways to go about things. Yeah, I mean, but life is about taking chances. Oh, and absolutely. See what you like. Yeah, it's all about risk and opportunity. Yeah, I mean, I worked at McDonald's. I worked at Buffalo Wild Wings, Chase. Worked at Ulta. What else did I do? I worked at Sparrow Hospital. I actually like that too. So I tried a lot of things, and now I'm here. That's awesome. Well, again, like I said, I think what you did is awesome. I'm glad that you were able to take a proactive step during COVID and be like, screw these people. They don't want to hire me. I know. I'm just gonna go off and do my own thing. And obviously, it's successful because you're still open. And I mean, it's towards the end of a pandemic, I hope. It seems like it. Thank God. Hopefully I don't have to worry about nothing. No. Maybe the mask mandate, but that's fine. Yeah. Okay.
So real quick, would you mind telling everybody where you're located, what your social media is, how can they follow you, how can they get a hold of you, and what services you offer?
Okay,
That's a lot.
so I know. So I'm gonna start with services because it's a lot.
Okay.
So we do makeup, we do lashes, we do full body waxing head to toe. We do. I said, did I say facials?
You did it earlier.
Okay, well I do facials. We do detoxing. We do teeth whitening. We do everything brows. We're like really good on brows. We do couples. We do men. We do children. We do everybody. So yeah, so that's that business.
Wow.
My party rental business, we have table, chairs, games, bounce houses, and more to come, hopefully. And so Skin Studio 211, that's everywhere. SkinStudio11.com, at Skin Studio on Facebook and Instagram. Everything's the same on Google, Skin Studio 211. And we're located at 3911 West Michigan Avenue, Suite 1, and it's between Waverly and Michigan. The party rental business, you can just contact us 517-897-1065, or just write me on Facebook, which my name is Lorin Cumberbatch everywhere. I keep everything the same because people, it's hard for people to really remember things. So for me, every business is same everywhere. You're never gonna find it different. And party rental business is lmpartyrental.com and everywhere else. I keep it the same. And I guess my property managing, that's not on social media because it's just under me. So you can just follow me if you want to rent a room because I have some rooms open. So if anyone needs a room because they're trying to figure out their business, so they can.
How big of a room are they?
I have 15 rooms.
You have 15 rooms?
Yep. Last month I had all 15 filled, and then this month a couple people are leaving. So I have, I think, like 3.
Where are these people going?
Some of them are just going back, doing it in their homes now again because they just feel like it's not doing it, or they're moving on to something else. That's the point of my business. Okay, you finally want to get out of your home, but you don't want to get a big suite like I did.
Right.
So you're in the middle, and I don't make it hard for you to get the room. Show me proof you can afford it, boom, and then the contracts is up to you. We do month to month, 6 months, and 1 year.
Wow.
So we can try it out, and if you want to leave, go. If you want to open your own, go, please. So that's I'm like
cool.
The mother bird.
That's cool. You're offering a spot for people who are aspiring entrepreneurs to try it out. That's real cool.
No one did it for me.
That's cool.
When I tell you, one trying to get a space and everything, they were like, no. Even in funding, because I'm beauty and beauty's non-essential. So if you try to apply for a loan right now for a business, they're gonna bank things in their head whether you're gonna be an essential business or non-essential if a pandemic ever happens.
Wow.
That was the main question every time. Is like, well, what happens if we close down another pandemic happens? I'm like, well, I don't think we can afford as an economy another pandemic.
Right.
1 and 2. I mean, what business was essential besides barely even GM, Amazon? But what business is Amazon? I wouldn't be coming to you if I was Amazon.
Right.
So that's what they'll say. So I like to make it easy. Yeah. That's my give back.
That's cool. I really appreciate that. As somebody who's from the community, I think that's really cool that you're doing that.
Have to.
All right.
Everything.
That's a lot.
I know, a lot of businesses.
I'm gonna have to when I'm editing this podcast and I'm uploading, I'm gonna go through and try to find your website and everything and put it in there.
Best thing is my Facebook because I promote everything on my Facebook. If not, mainly on Facebook. I think you could probably go to. No, it's not even on my website. I was gonna say my website, but no, they're all separate because it gets a lot. Yeah,
I can imagine. You would almost need a social media person to
no, I do. Trust me, I do. I'll be like, I forgot to post about the party rents business today. It's okay. I'll worry about it later. It's a lot, so yeah, I don't know. I like doing a lot of things, so.
That's cool though. It's awesome. It's good to stay busy, and you're obviously staying plenty busy.
I'm extremely busy. I know. I'm trying to do it now so that when my son actually is in school, I can not have to work so much.
Right. You can grow it now, and then it'll kind of
make money when I don't feel like being at work.
Right.
So that's my goal. So
awesome. Well, cool. Well, go to her studio if you want some skin work done, or if you need party rental stuff. Go to her, and they deliver, which is awesome.
Yes.
That's a big.
I don't
big
deliver,
deal.
Thank God. My business partner delivers, has no problem doing it. So yeah, and we're on time, and we'll pick up whenever you guys want us to. So
awesome. All right. Well, I guess with that being said, let's wrap this up.
Okay.
All right, thank you for being here.
Of course, I'm glad it was good. I'm actually wasn't as nervous as I thought.
No, you seem good.
Yeah, because it's voice.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's
If
in
it
your
was
head.
a camera here, I would be shaking.
There is a camera here.
I know, but it's not as like direct.
Oh,
I've
it's not
seen
like zoomed in on your
Yeah.
face.
It's more audio than it is video.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That was my main thing. I'll literally shake. That's how bad I have attention anxiety. It's terrible. So.
All right. All right. Well, thank you again for being here.
Of course.
And
thank you for having me.
yeah, absolutely.